Oh, hi Aries. Welcome to your September reading. Ooh, I was supposed to be on a plane right now, but the rain in New York City is crazy. Prayers to you if you have been affected by the hurricane in all the states. Our prayers and our love is with you. All right, Aries. September is all about love. It's all about eroticism. It's all about what triggers you once that love and erotic sensibility gets into your bones. Unfortunately, for some of you, it triggers a need to control. And that's going to be really your biggest hurdle in September, is being stuck somewhere between an enormous amount of passion and wanting to control the object of your passion so that you can make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And while I understand this, in Western astrology, I have heavy Aries placements. I get it. This is also the month that teaches you why that feeling has to be healed. Whatever the triggers are that lead there, they have to be healed. You have to evolve. You have to move away from that now. Sorry. There's one tiny fly somewhere in this house. I knew it was going to make an appearance. So how do you evolve past the need for control? Well, as of the 14th, you have Mars in Libra across from you. And as of the 22nd, you have the Sun in Libra across from you. Which means that it's time to talk openly. Put your feelings straight out there. Negotiate. Be easy with the people that you love. Give them a chance to speak. Give them a chance to breathe, to live. Know that they come back to you not because you are holding them and only giving them so much rope, but because they want to. It's much sweeter, I promise you that. Of course, control is gratifying, right? Especially if you have an issue with being vulnerable. Of course, you want to know. I want to make sure that my feelings are valid and respected, and if that means that I have to control the situation to a certain extent, then that's what I'm going to do, because that's what ensures my safety and the safety of my heart. But have you ever tasted the sweetness of letting someone go and let them be completely who they are, and then revel in the fact that they really just want to be with you? Not because you're forcing them, not because you're controlling them, not because you're guilt tripping them. And I'm not saying you're doing any of this. I'm saying this is what will be triggered in you in September. So we want to fight against that. And the way that we do that is by healing whatever fear we have that is triggered by this love, by this attraction. Now, those of you who are single, you're thinking, yeah, well, I don't feel that way about anybody. There will be someone that it will occur to you in September cares more about you than perhaps you care about yourself. And then you want to stay really close to that person because they're inadvertently teaching you how to love yourself more. And then that quickly becomes something you want to control because it feels so good and it's helping you and it's healing you. And then as soon as you flip that switch, then it becomes something toxic. You can also meet a lot of weak, clingy people who are going through their own 9 of Swords moment. And the reason they're attracted to you is because you have a lot of your hidden fears, feelings of inadequacy, whatever you want to call them. You have that coming up. And so you're attracting that as well. But we don't want to indulge these people. And remember, clingy people are really easy to control. So they're already giving you, a door into a really toxic situation that you don't want to walk through it. Now, as of the 10th of September, Your physical intimacy needs can pull you into a situation that you don't know enough about, that can end up being super toxic. And the way they rope you in is because they know that physical affection really, you don't give it very often. And so you're always kind of yearning for it. And anyone who figures that out about you can really manipulate you through your physical needs. So you just want to be really careful, because it could be those clingy people that we just spoke about who are using it as their last resort. If I can physically enrapture this person, then they won't go anywhere. And then they're going to start showing you they're crazy. And then you're going to want to show them you're crazy. And it's just super messy. So we want to stay away from that. There is someone in your life that doesn't fit any of these descriptions. Someone who wants better for you. From someone who can tell from a distance even that you deserve so much more than what you're letting around you. They can see so very clearly that most of the people you let around you are just not good enough and actually are takers. And they take way too much. And this person is going to tell you straight up, you're allowing too much to be taken away. This is imbalanced. And you're not going to like what they say. You may even want to push that person away, because even though you admire them, they're telling you something that you don't want to hear. Oftentimes, Aries will mistake over giving for love, right? If I give enough, this person will love me back. And what this person you admire is going to, in so many ways, show you is that no, they don't love you. They're just taking from you. That's all it is. Get away. Speaking of annoying and clingy. Okay. Now, everyone around you, once you figure out that you don't want to give too much, everyone around you starts giving to you. And it's kind of like a sick joke. Like, when I was giving so much, why wasn't anyone reciprocating? And now I've decided that I'm not going to give as much. And now everybody wants to hook me up. Don't overthink it. Just accept the help. Accept the bonuses. Accept the hookups. Rejoice in it. On the 19th, you have this sun moment where some really good news comes in, probably through a close friend. Either they give you some nugget of wisdom that you can turn into a great idea. They prop you up somehow. They are the bearers of some fantastic financial news. They hook you up with a job, whatever it is. Around the 19th, get ready to celebrate, inshallah. And then around the 27th, before the 27th, actually, before Mercury goes retrograde, you really want to wrap everything up. What you don't want to do is get caught here, because you can't stop thinking about all the people who were taking from you that you've now been called out on. See, because even though what you're being called out on is actually about other people, you're going to take it personally if you're not careful. And you're going to see it as in some sort of indictment of you, and it's not. So even though it's really easy to get stuck in some sadness, because, oh my God, all these people have been using me, and what have I been doing, and why did I allow this? Please don't dwell on it. Please don't dwell on it. There's so many good things that you could do instead. Namely, Two of Wands, moving forward. Moving forward, and also telling the truth. Moving forward, telling the truth, facilitating that moving forward. Tell people how it is. Why don't you want to talk to me anymore? What happened? I feel like things are different between us. Right, because you used me, and you continue to use me, and I'm tired of it, and you can't use me anymore. Sorry. Think what you will about that, but go think it somewhere else. You need to take a break as of the 27th. Stretch yourself out. Do what you love. Leave everything to the side for a few days and just relax. Do not overburden yourself in September. It's really important that you understand this. And if there's anything you need to communicate about, including this judgment card here where you want to tell people the truth, please do it before the 27th. Because anything you say after the 27th is going to get taken out of context. It's going to sound wrong, even though you're not doing anything wrong. So it's super, super important for you to focus on the long term, make your plans, get everything done paperwork wise, negotiation wise, cutting people off, everything, get it done before the 27th, take a rest, and then as of October, you get back to work. But those 4 or 5 days in between, really give yourself some space, because you have some beautiful connections coming in and they need a little room. You need to make a little room. And that means that a lot of those takers, they have to go. Now, there are many of you who have asked me in the past, well, what if those takers are my family? That's okay. You can still tell them that it's too much. Well, what if that taker is a partner? That's okay. Again, you being loved and loving others is not tantamount to you doing everything for them and them taking every last drop out of you. That's not the same thing. And anyone who would like to convince you that love means that they get to drain you, that's not love. They're trying to rope you into and groom you to be okay with a situation that is incredibly toxic and abusive. Whether it's financial abuse, emotional abuse, it doesn't matter. It's still abusive. And you have to say it how it is, even if you're just saying it to yourself. Even if the only person you're having this conversation with is your inner self, this is a conversation that needs to be had. Because play it out with me. You don't get rid of these people, even though you know they're in your life. And then someone new comes in who's not like this, and all they want to do is love you and be around you and hook you up. The resentment you have, the experiential, the experiences you've had are going to show you things that aren't there. You are going to assume without realizing it that they're just like the people that are already in your life. Even if you can't see they're using you, your inner self knows they're using you and is going to assume that this is yet one more person who's going to do the same thing. So you really, really have to clean house. And I know that's difficult for you because you're the helpers, because you're the ones that want to do. And so because you have this desire to do, you often take on way more. Libras do it too. Your axis, this is what you do. You do way more than you're supposed to because you're a doer. So it's no problem. I'll just do it, right? I'll just do it. It's no problem. But you have to understand that when you keep doing, okay, 1, you're taking precious time and energy from yourself. 2, the people that you're doing for, you're not actually helping them. They're not learning anything. They have no access to their own karma because you're standing in front of them, taking it all. They have no idea of consequence because you're the one doing everything, and so you suffer the consequences. And they have no sense of responsibility because they've never had to, because you're taking care of everything. So your need to do, your natural bossness, it becomes a liability to exactly the people you're trying to help. And so often you will see that Aries come across people who they have helped for years and years and years who deeply resent them inside. And somehow or other it comes out one day that they actually really dislike you. And it's, sorry, my best friend called. Okay, so what I was saying was, when you get into these relationships, whether you are Libra dominant or Aries dominant, when you're on this axis, it's very common to feel heartbroken and betrayed by the people that you've done the most for. And although it seems really counterintuitive and it doesn't make any sense to you, it's because on some latent level that they've definitely been sublimating because they love the help, they also feel robbed of their agency. And so this goes back to the beginning of the reading when we're talking about control. So control isn't just you do what I say. Control can also be overgiving, oversharing, providing more than they're providing for you. Because although at first glance it doesn't seem like a modality of control, it is, because you end up doing so much for them that they are given permission through your doing to be helpless. And once that happens, people start to look for someone to blame. Okay, because you've already taken on all the responsibility. So they're not going to take any responsibility and say, oh, maybe this might be also my fault. I shouldn't be doing this, or I shouldn't be allowing this. They're going to go straight to, this is not my fault. This is somebody else's fault. It's their fault. So this may leave you feeling like, well, I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. No, you're not. No, you're not. You don't have to do for others more than you do for yourself. And you certainly should not be doing for others more than they can do for themselves. So if you keep that here throughout September especially, you save yourself a lot of pain, but also it's really easy to process when these things pop up in September and people start to come at you like this. You can see that you also did play a part, even though you were doing it with the best of intentions, with a pure heart. You can see how it wasn't helpful. Also, I love you. Also, these are our rings. This is the world. This is the Empress. The links are below. I'll see you in the second part. Hi, Aries. Welcome to the second part of your reading. Okay, I am in New York. So the first part of your reading was done in Denmark, and now here we are. And it's all about love and the wounds that it has left in the past. It's all about bringing that eroticism back into your life, but in a way that you can digest. As you can see from that top row, there is so much opportunity if you have the guts, but you are so afraid. And that's okay, you have good reason to be afraid. You are in the midst of many wounds being cleaned out. It's not the ideal time while a wound is being cleaned out to flush it with new possibilities, but then you do like to work fast. And I feel that for many of you, your best work is done when you're put on the spot. And September finds you being put on the spot quite often. The spot being your wound, your wounds. And as the month progresses and as each respective wound is pinpointed and cleaned out and flushed out with a new possibility that requires even more risk and even more truth-telling, you will have a choice to make. Do you hide it away with all your other dreams and ambitions that were too scary to pursue? Or do you put in that one extra bit of faith that is needed and start a new life? A new life that undoubtedly will lead to new connections. Because when you feel good about you, when you know that you are being strong and adventurous, when you feel that risk-taking that is born of you trusting your intuition, when you feel your instincts become more powerful because you're listening to them, that feeling, it completely recharges you. You feel new again, hopeful, excited. And it's been a while. And that's okay. But you can get stuck. As you can see from that first card out, you can get stuck, and it may take till about the 19th or the 20th for someone to pull you out of it, or you could try before then, a week before then, to physically get it out of your system. Neither one will necessarily work. to flush out, to clean out, to understand and move forward from a hurt, a pain, a wound. Takes a certain amount of optimism, and the Two of Wands and the Sun are there. Hey, remember to stay on the bright side of this. That pain is past pain. It has just been sublimated, Nine of Wands in reverse, to such an extent that it has started taking from you. Seven of Swords. It has weighed heavy on your mind, which is where things go when we put them deep down, when we don't listen to our gut. Becomes one more thing that we overthink. So yes, it can be easy to get stuck in any one of those stages up there. But if you are strong and you take a risk on yourself, if you bet on yourself and you tell the truth and you provide that one extra wand that's needed here, that you can only get through telling the truth, okay? So we stop sublimating, we bring our needs into our reality, we confront them, and we walk towards them. Then the right people come and find us because we're finally on the right road. See, this journey was never about getting other people to believe in you, although you may have been in it for exactly that reason. Doesn't matter what the motivation was, it got you here. But this journey was always going to be about you finding that extra support that you need so much. It's about you finding out that that's you. It's your support you miss. It's your support you try to create in others. It's you that you need. And Virgo season is a fantastic time to figure this out because it happens without judgment. We're just all trying to heal. And it's the perfect time of year to make the medicine. So make the medicine. Little bit of risk, little bit of truth, little bit of hard work, little belief in yourself, just a dash. You make the medicine and then you share it. Oh, don't we love it? I love you. I'll see you in the extended right now.